looking for work, I suggest you get in here pronto.
Well, since we're going to be working together, I reckon it's time we start drinking together.
Woo-wee! Yeah!
It's nobody's business but ours.
Hey guys, welcome to week 2 on the Real DVD Watchers for me, and today I'm going to be reviewing Brokeback Mountain. This is a 2005 film directed by Ang Lee. It's based on a short story of the same title by author Annie Proulx, and it's a romantic drama film that tells the story of the relationship between two men in Western America from 1963 to 1983. It stars Heath Ledger, Jake Gyllenhaal, Anne Hathaway, and Michelle Williams. Heath plays Ennis Del Mar, and Jake Gyllenhaal plays Jack Twist. And they're initially hired to herd sheep through the summer on Brokeback Mountain, obviously. And during this time, they're pretty much the only people they ever have contact with. So over a period of time, they have this growing relationship. You have Heath Ledger playing Ennis, who's more of a closeted person, not in that sense exactly, but he's more keeping his feelings to himself, and he's not very sociable. Whereas you have Jack Twist, who's much more of a lively, outgoing individual. And eventually those two find themselves in a situation where they fall in love, and eventually the summer's over and their romance has to end, and they go back to their lives, get married and such. But when they reunite, it becomes this complicated relationship where they want to be together. One of them wants to be together really badly and is willing to leave their family for that relationship, while the other one, in spite of his feelings, is really keeping it all to himself and really just doesn't want to accept that part of him. This is a fantastic film, and I'll just start on the technical aspects of it. It was shot in Alberta, I believe, and it's meant to be Wyoming. But the mountain shots, all the stuff in terms of setting up what this landscape is brilliant. I love every shot in this movie, especially those shots on Brokeback Mountain. It's really just very much like a painting or something. Ang Lee did a brilliant job on this. The music, on the other hand, is really good. I think we've all heard the music before. It's one of those scores similar to Jaws or perhaps Signs, where it's very simple, kind of repetitive, but in some way it's somehow more effective because of that. I love, not only is that theme great, but it's all, there's cues and sequences in the film where the music is just absolutely brilliant, and it does what music should do in a film. It helps you feel something. It helps you it enhances what the scene is trying to tell you. And that's not to say that the film needs enhancement. It's pretty brilliant the way it is, but music of course helps to really set the mood for what you're meant to feel. I guess the best thing to talk about would be the script. This is a very slow film. It's not a lot is really happening. It's just really an exploration of this relationship between these two people and how it kind of messes up not only their lives but the lives of their families. So there are moments where it does get very slow, and yet at the same time for me that wasn't a problem because I was really caught up between these two characters. The dialogue, this is one of those scripts where I watch it and I can't really find a single thing wrong with any of the dialogue. It's very natural, it's very human. It's not really exposition-y. There's not lines of dialogue where you can tell that they just had to put that in there to explain what was going on. It's very self-explanatory and it really relies on the heart of the story and characters to really get what it's saying. And so the dialogue is very much just a conversation between people rather than an explanation of the story. One thing I liked about the story was that it could be very easy to paint Michelle Williams and Anne Hathaway's characters, who play the wives of both Ennis and Jack's characters. It's very easy to kind of paint them as villains in this type of story because naturally Jack and Ennis are in love and they want to be together. And you could kind of see how it might be easy to take these wives and make them the mean bitches and not wanting them to express themselves and them being just irrational to their love. But actually, what I like about this story is it makes them very human too, and you don't get the sense that, oh, they're just holding them back from their love. You really do get a sense of these sort of emotions and anger and upsetness, that, is that a word? Whatever, that they're going through, and realizing perhaps that not only are their husbands not necessarily cheating on them. I know Michelle Williams' character knows it, but for Anne Hathaway's character, I think it's more of a realization that not only is their husband cheating on them, but it's with another man, which back in the time, of course, really was, that, I think we all know that really that was not acceptable back in the day. This is a brilliant movie in terms of performances. Everybody delivers a great performance. Anne Hathaway, I find, is the weakest of the performers, and yet at the same time, there's nothing bad to say about her. Michelle Williams has great chemistry with Heath Ledger, and I love how she's able to kind of portray the hurt person, but also the strong person, someone who's able to realize that her husband is cheating on her, and is at the same time not be just this broken, depressed person about it, but actually kind of take action and be angry about it. I loved her scene between between her and Heath Ledger, where she pretty much comes out that she knew about this affair for a long time. It's a powerful scene, and it's great. She was fantastic in it. Jake Gyllenhaal does great. He and Heath have great chemistry as well, and that, of course, plays a huge role in whether or not this film worked. But he was he was very good. I mean, I don't necessarily know what to say about him. I liked how he was a great contrast to Heath Ledger's, as I said, more closeted character. And I also think he was able to really make Jack Twist I found it kind of easy to make Jack Twist annoying, because he keeps pushing and pushing for this relationship and he won't stop, whereas Heath Ledger's character is just like, I don't want to do this. He doesn't want to accept that part of him. But so when Jack Twist is kind of like pushing and poking to make this happen, it could easily get annoying. But I liked how Jake Gyllenhaal played it more as not just this guy who's I read an article where someone said that Jack Twist was a sexual predator by just keep pushing and pushing and wanting not to leave Ennis alone. But I didn't see it that way. I saw it how he's just this guy who, like any of us, if we found ourselves really wanting to be with someone, would really want to push for that, and he's not being annoying, he's just being really passionate about what he's feeling. And that was great. And then of course, there's Heath Ledger, who, for me, delivered the best performance in the film. I've heard complaints about his, like, closed jaw and how it's hard to understand him. But if you read interviews and stuff and watch interviews, it's really a brilliant take on the character on Heath Ledger's part. Because he's obviously this man who's keeping all of his emotions to himself. And when he's in the whole clenched jaw thing is a representation of that. Because it's like the words are fighting. He's this tight, wound up, clenched-jawed person, and the words are fighting to get out of his mouth. It's brilliant, and I loved his scene at the end of the movie, where if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. He sees Jack Twist's jacket in his closet, and I don't want to ruin anything, but yeah, and that was just powerful. He doesn't even say much, and just the emotion on his face really got to me. A fantastic performer. It's really a tragedy that we lost him. Anyways, Brokeback Mountain is it's a masterpiece to me. It really is. It should have won Best Picture in my opinion. I don't see anything wrong with this film. And I have to admit, I was one of those people who was like, I don't know if I want to see this because it was about gay people. I don't want to get carried away with this, but I'm not a homophobe. I'm not any of like that. I just didn't know if I'd feel comfortable with that story. And if any of you are like that, I don't want to judge and I don't want to tell you what you should feel, but I'd say give it a shot, because it really is at its heart a love story, and a very good one at that. It just happens to be between two guys. It's a brilliant film, a masterpiece. I give it this rating. So thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.